Okay, so what we're doing here, this skill is going to be very easy here, and then gets a little bit more complex with this one. It's called a limit, and a limit is a value that some variable approaches. So we designate some value that it approaches. So right here I've got, what does this evaluate to if x approaches 4? That means it gets really, really, really close to 4, like 3.9999999 recurring. Okay? What does this thing approach? And so all we're doing is substituting that number here. 4 plus 2, 6. Okay, so we're taking that value, and we're, for our purposes, it's the same as substitution. We're taking that value and plugging it there. Okay, so you can see B will be pretty straightforward. We've got the limit as h approaches 0 of 2h take 5. So if h is approaching 0, then we're going to have 2 times 0 take 5. It approaches minus 5. Okay. On to C, we've got the limit as x approaches 1 of 25, the number 25. And when we're looking at that, we're going, there's nowhere for me to put the number 1. There's nowhere for me to substitute x. And so the limit has no effect on this. It's just 25. Okay, so you would substitute it where the x is. If there's no x, there's no substitution. And then in D, if we're confronted with something that can be simplified, we must simplify it before we apply the limit. So that's where the complexity increases in this one. We must simplify this. And so we can use either index laws, or we can think about it like, I think this is probably the most effective way to think about it. It is x times x plus 3 at the top. Okay, we can factorize the x at the top, and then we have the x at the bottom. Then we have the same thing as a product at the top and the bottom, right? So we can cancel the x. It simplifies to x plus 3. All right, this expression is the same as this one. We've just simplified it. Now that it's been simplified, we can apply the limit. We sub in the 0, and we get 3. Okay, so they will start off pretty easy, but if you can simplify some of the later ones, you have to simplify them first, which is where there's a little bit of algebra involved. All right, any questions about 14C? Excellent. Now, we've worked really well. That's going to set us up really well for first principles next lesson.